One thing they don't tell you about violent relationships is that they're not simply bad luck. It took me to be in 2 violent relationships to realise that this was a pattern, and I was an intelligent woman and I couldn't quite figure out why I was ending up in these relationships. But by the second one, I started to think, well, this isn't just a coincidence. There is something happening here. And on reflection, I was very defensive, argumentative. I was very distrusting, and I kind of had like a guard up. I was in total fight or flight. And so my nervous system, my body did not feel safe. And having looked back at my life, I realised that I had accepted verbal abuse in many of my relationships and experienced that as a child. And I say that it's like the constant defensiveness, the arguments, and I'm an intuitive, empathic, sensitive person, and that could just be my perception of things because I've got family that didn't have that experience. So my perception was that this is, if there was arguments, they felt very unsettling to me, and I would make up lots of stories in my head. My family weren't really great at communication, so I took on that responsibility and probably thought that it was my fault that this was happening, and so then added more stress. So my body is in constant fight or flight. What that led to is me wanting to control how I was feeling and the situations I was in, and that was met with controlling relationships. So if it is peace that you're looking for, if it is more empathy, more listening, less reaction, more patience, this is what the work that I help women achieve, is because it all comes down to communication. And if we feel threatened and we're having a conversation with someone and we're defensive, it's not because you want to have the argument, because what you actually want, what your actually values are probably are peace. Your values are looking for safety, and you're looking for to be a role model and to ensure that everybody is safe, but you're probably communicating it in a way that is defensive, and that might take things personally because there's that element of wanting to control and make sure everything's okay. But how that comes across in communication can be defensiveness, and that might not be what your intention is. So it's likely that you're empathic also, and that you're loving and that you're caring, but there comes a point where you get to decide what you will continue to tolerate, what you will continue to accept, and are you willing to get support to change that? Because it is a pattern, and with patterns and habits, they become comfortable. They become what we know. So we often tell ourselves that we're not able to change, or perhaps it's too far out of what you know, or maybe it feels unsafe to change. So it's teaching your body that it is safe, and that you are worthy, and that you do deserve, and that you are good enough for healthy relationships, for relationships that support you and nourish you and create a space where you can grow. So I want to empower you to know that change is possible, and that growth is possible, and that healthy relationships do exist. They're not just a pie in the sky, or it's not something you should just settle with. A few people have said that to me over time, that you need to be happy with what you've got, and you can't have everything. And so these kind of limiting beliefs that kind of feed through our everyday end up sometimes creating times where we just stay for way too long, or we don't feel confident to leave, or we start to blame ourselves and think that maybe we are the reason that the relationship is in such challenges. So this is the work that I'm supporting women to do. So if this resonates and you are looking to create that change, and you do want more peace and more love and more trust and more trust in the uncertainty, being okay with the unknown, like not taking things personally, being able to communicate in a calm way and less reactive, then this work will be life-changing for you, because that amount of stress and that amount of control causes huge problems and health challenges. And so yeah, that will definitely allow you to have that more positive mindset, to see possibilities, to create change. And this is what life, I feel, is about experiencing and trusting and trying new things and being more of you, and trusting who you want to be. So if this resonates, drop me a message, reach out. I'd love to speak to you soon. All right, take care.